Yeah, I want to do something on batteries here, and I know it's kind of like, battery, car battery. What the hell are you going to talk about a damn car battery for? Because you just buy them and throw them in there, right? Well, I'm going to tell you right now, you can get stuff that can last a lot longer, cheap, and it's all of its maintenance, almost all of it. And what I do, now this is in a 78 El Camino. I had this car since 1991, actually. Bought it back then. It's got a 350 with demon carb. It's not a show car or nothing. I use this thing. It 4-speed posi. I put the posi in it. I put the transmission. I put the clutch in it. I do all my own stuff. I got a bunch of cars. Working in an office, suit, all this other garbage, and I hate new cars. Okay, I just hate them. Well, they were all insured and registered to 2014. So whatever. But what I always do is, like for instance, this one's been in here since March of '08, March 2008. All right, so it's ancient, right? Well, if you look on the battery charger, I just put this on here like for 5 minutes. It's 100%. And now when this light goes, these are good chargers. This is from Schumacher, Ship and Shore speed charger. I had another one, but it got rained on, But it basically goes. It'll go right up to the green light eventually, and that means it's right up to the top, and it's got different modes on it. It's good to buy a good charger too, because if you stick a manual charger on it, you'll burn it out. Now I always keep this thing charged up because sometimes it sits here for a month. I basically don't drive it except to haul tree branches, pick up concrete, 4x4s, and all this kind of garbage, construction stuff and heavy crap. Now, I always get, this is a Group 27, it's supposed to have a Group 24, but I had to make the tray bigger, and I fit it in here. And this was an old Walmart, best Walmart. I think batteries from Walmart are made by the big manufacturers anyway, so it's not screwed up. But I always get the kind where you take the cap off, because unless you're getting like a real expensive high-end glass mat battery, you need to fill them up. Don't let them kid you about this. Now these, you don't fill them up to, well, you probably noticed, but you don't fill them up to the top, but you can see they're filled right up to the ring, which is perfectly full. You don't want to overfill them. And you never use tap water. You use distilled water, right? Good old Walmart, 88 cents a gallon. And I usually use a funnel, but a lot of times I use these little paper things. I got a pile of these things. I cut the end off. It's like a little funnel because they're perfectly clean. This battery is absolutely fine. So it's like brand new, and it's it's 4.5 years old now. So what does that tell you? Now this battery in the Jeep is put in here since the 1990s, and if you look on this sticker here, it's a 1-year warranty battery. It's from AutoZone. It's the cheapest one they had, and it's perfect shape. There's nothing wrong with it. Now the charger, a lot of times I use this little one here. I went over this before, but it's called the battery minder. When it first came out, what it has is electronic circuitry in it, and you notice there's a red light, which means it's charging, and then there's a green light. The green light just means it's connected. But when it gets charged up all the way, the green light starts flashing, and what it does is it desulfates the plates. So it keeps the battery up to par by keeping the plates from getting sulfated. That's usually what kills the batteries. This was a unique device probably about 10 years ago, but I've been using this quite often on this. Now, this thing actually used to build up some corrosion around that positive terminal. You can see there's some yellow stuff. What that is called is Gorilla Glue, and you can use any kind of really good glue out there, Rhino glue, or you can use super weather strip adhesive. Just clean it off chemically around the area if you got a little leak around a post. And even though this battery is probably 13, 14 years old, it cranks the car, this Jeep right over real fast. Just starts it right up, no problem. And I'm probably going to change it though. And this one actually is oversized, but I'm going to probably use a Group 24. And maybe drill out the wells on this plate here. You can see this plate. Move it over a little bit and put the biggest battery I could possibly can in here. Now the other thing I do, if you notice sitting up here on the dash, there's this It's a solar charger. It's very low amperage. It's like puts out like 1 watt. It's like nothing, but it's plugged into the cigarette lighter. And in between the time, if you throw the battery charger on, I have this thing plugged in it. And I swear to God, even though this 1 watt doesn't keep this battery up all the way, it's enough that since this battery is their cheapest battery, was sold by AutoZone. It's only a 1-year warranty. Bought it back in the late 90s. It's still good. So sometimes a little maintenance goes a long, long way. And just want to pass on a couple of these tips, because like this charger here, this is still a solar charger you stick in the cigarette lighter. It's big enough to not really charge it, but it's enough to kind of keep it topped off, and that's enough to keep the plates from getting sulfated, because you always got a little bit of electricity in it. And it's simple enough that you don't need to have a charge controller with it. So you only pay like $15 for something like this, and you just plug it into the cigarette lighter and you're done. That's all you got to do. And if you notice, this is a right-hand drive vehicle, which means it is Japanese. It's actually true Japanese manufactured Jeep, which is kind of weird. There's not too many of those around.